today we're doing 3, 5, and 3 together. They're sets. A set is a list of elements. And I call them elements because, as I said, they can be numbers, they can be letters, they can be colors, they can be a whole bunch of different things. I want to start with some of the vocabulary we're going to be using in the process. The first one is the word subset. Subset. A subset is all the different combinations of a set. The second vocabulary word, I guess the third vocabulary word I want to say, is universal set. A universal set is the set of all the elements. Next, we have the complement of a set. The complement of a set is all of the unwanted elements. And the notation for a complement of a set is we use like a little dash, what we call prime. So if I was doing the complement of a set, I would say I wanted a prime of the set. So before I get to more vocabulary, let's just start with this group first, okay? So, and this more involves that first page we're talking about. So let's do example number 1. We're going to kind of cover the beginning vocabulary words here. On example number 1, I want you to list all subsets. And this is what you're going to have to do for that first 14 through, or no wait, not 14, through 20 through 24 on that first page. So list all subsets. If you're given the set, let's say A, B, C. The subsets are all the different combinations of this. So, for example, I can have just A, I can have just B, I can have just C, I could have A and B, I could have A and C, we could have B and C, little squiggles on the end. You can make them, if you just want to make them normal parentheses, brackets, whatever you want, whatever works best for you. Usually in your book, though, you're going to see them with these little things on the end, okay? All right. I can also have all of them, so ABC can be a subset of ABC, or the one we talked about in our warm-up, I can have the empty set where none of them are included. So as I said, it's just all the different combinations. Any questions on what a subset is? Do we need another example of subsets? No, we're okay? All right. Go with example number 2 then. On example number 2, that is what's going to be your 26 and 28 on the first page. If your universal set is, let's say, 1, 2, 5, 7, 10, and I want, and let's say set A is 1, 5, 7, find a prime. So again, that prime means the complement. So when I say, anytime you see this little prime, we want all the ones that aren't included. So since 1, 5, and 7 are A, and those are right here, what are the numbers that aren't included? 2 and 10. And that's literally all you have to do. Okay? We do one more example, make sure we got it. I'm just going to kind of keep it underneath this example number 2. So if I tell you your universal set is, how about 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, 13, and 14, and I tell you yes. Oh, I just put a little colon there. Little dots. What? Okay. So if I tell you that A is 5, 7, 10, and I want you to find A prime. Good. 1, 3, 13, and 14. All right, so when you look at this, we have, I might kind of underline them, 5, 7, and 10. So the complement would be all the ones that aren't included. All right, so that's the problems on that very first page. Are we good so far? Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so I got a few more vocabulary words we need to go over. All right, next vocabulary word I want to use is union. You've seen this one. A union contains all elements of, this must be an O, of 2 or more sets. And to show a union, we use AU. What do we do already that has a U in the middle? Or, yes, our or interval notation. All right, the next one is intersection. The intersection are all elements in common in 2 or more sets. For an intersection, we do an upside down U. It's not really an N because it doesn't have like the little tail to start with, but it's just the upside down U. It's the intersection. So between the two sets, it's what number is in both of them, or what letters are in both of them. Disjoint. A disjoint set have no elements in common. And the last word I want to throw up here, even though we've talked about it already, is empty set. And an empty set, of course, has no elements. Now there's two different, elements, there we go. There are two different ways you can show an empty set. You can do the little brackets with the circle like we did in our warm-up with a line through it, or you can just have the brackets with nothing on the inside. Either way. All right, so here we go with example number 3. Example number 3. This is going to be your 10 through 20. let's say we have a set A is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we say set B is 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we have two sets here. First thing I want you to do is A union B. So when we say union, that means it is all the elements all together. So the union of these is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 and 5 are already there. 6 and 7. If I say A intersect B, here I just want whatever numbers overlap in both. So what numbers is that? 4 and 5. Very good. All right, we have a 4 and 5 and a 4 and a 5. Let's try another one similar to this. How about we'll write it a little bit different. Let's go with example number 4. Let's say that set C is the is even numbers less than 9, and we'll say set D is set D is all whole numbers less than 6. All right, so you have a couple of them today like this, where it's written out in words. I highly recommend what you do is you actually write what those numbers down, what those numbers are. Write those down. So for example, when we say in this first one, even numbers less than 9. Well, even numbers are numbers that go by 2s, right? So I have 2, 4, 6, 8. Would I have 10? No, because it has to be less than 9, right? Okay, down here for D, it's all whole numbers less than 6. Remember, a whole number is your counting numbers. So we would start at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I count 6? No, it says less than 6, doesn't it? Okay, so now that I have that, I want to know C union D. The union means we put them all together, right? So I have 1. I have 2 in both of them. 3, 4 in both of them. 5, 6, and 8. I've taken all of the elements and put them all together in one. What if I said C intersect D? Two and 4, very good, just 2 and 4. All right, we have a 2 here, and we have a 4. Is there anything else? Okay. So do we have questions on the first, 5 of them you have to do on this page? Pretty good? All right. Well, I'm kind of doing big examples. So. All right. We're only going to 26, so I only have 3 more things to talk about. That was it. Actually, two things to talk about. Next one, who can tell me what is a Venn diagram? Okay, 2 circles. Graham, there we go. And what about these 2 circles? They connect. They overlap, right? So in these two circles, it actually represents sets. This first circle would represent set A. The second circle would represent set B. Right? This in the middle would represent the intersection of the two, or A intersect B. So in the middle is all the ones they have in common. All right? So that being said, here's my, what example am I on? 5? Example 5. I think we'll actually stop after this one. Example 5 has to do with 22 through 26. If I tell you, make a Venn diagram for, let's say, set A is ALGEBR, and set B is GEOMTR and Y. And we'll go set C. We're going to do a 3-1. It's going to be fine. And let's say this one is M, A, T, and H. All right, so if I'm doing a Venn diagram for 3 of them, that means that my circles have to overlap. My first 2 are like normal. My third one, I'm going to move down a little bit, crosses over both of those. All right, you guys have seen these 3 circles together? Not ever? Okay. So this center little piece right here is what overlaps in all 3 sets. So let me move it back up a little bit. So what letter do we have in all 3 of those? Do we have any in all 3? I'm going to label this set A. I'm going to label this set B. I'm going to label this set C. Nothing in common. Okay, so that means this little piece right here is going to stay empty. Do I have anything in common between A and B? What? G. I'm going to put G in there, and R. All right. Since I have my G and R already, I'm going to cross those out. Huh? Oh, E. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to squeeze that in my little spot right here. Pretend that fits. All right. Do I have anything in common between B and A, or B and C? We'll do this one. A, good. T, there we go, T. So we have those 2. Do I have anything in common between A and C? A, good. And you'll see I'm going to cross off A. Where does I have 2 things in common here? Where does M go? Yes, right? In the intersection. So now, the only letter that isn't included in either this section or this section is the letter L. So that's going to go in this spot all by itself. Oh, and a B. My B. There we go. And B. Okay. In set B, we have the O and the Y. What about set C? What else goes in this area? H. Very good. You have 2 of those, and that's all you have to do. Okay? No, it's not that bad. Okay? Any questions on your homework today? It is posted in Google Classroom. Again, there aren't really that many problems, but it does work with those vocabulary words we're talking about. Okay?